Hello everyone, how's it going today? I'm continuing to work on the insulation project that we started last week with the back doors. I've got the passenger side torn apart and I finished the bottom quarter, but I'm still working on the top quarter. But before we post that video, I wanted to go ahead and talk about two items that are known Sprinter issues in the Mercedes Sprinter. Number one is the hose clamps on the power steering pump, and number two is the back doors not properly being seated. And sometimes that's because as you move down the road, the back doors shift, and therefore you can start seeing some daylight either down below or up above. I'm going to talk about how to fix those two common problems. Let's start by talking about the clamps, the two clamps on the two hoses that feed into the power steering pump. This is a known issue. There's a service bulletin out there for it, and I took it in recently to the Mercedes Service Center here in Alaska to get those clamps replaced, and guess what? They just replaced them with the same old clamps. And I didn't realize this until Tim, who is on the Winnebago Revel page or Facebook group, decided to come over and show me some of his modifications that he's made to his Revel to give us some ideas. And when he did that, he stopped by and we popped both of the hoods. We took a look at what the service center did. We took a look at the fix for the actual clamp problem, and we identified that they just simply replaced the old clamps with the same clamps that are failing. So that's kind of an issue. That is very disappointing, and I'm not very happy with the service center right now. With that being said, I'm going to show how to replace those clamps first and get them secured so that the hoses don't pop off. The common problem that's occurring within the Mercedes Sprinter is the bottom hose on the power steering unit is providing enough pressure to push that clamp and hose off of the connection, which is allowing all of the power steering fluid to drain out of that hose and causing complete loss of power steering. And this could be really, really bad if you're in a really bad area or out in the middle of nowhere and you never did this fix. So make sure you fix your hoses, make sure you replace those clamps, and you keep an eye on it, because there's nothing worse than losing your power steering. I'm going to take you up to the front of the van. We're going to apply the clamps, and it's a 3/8 inch clamp. So we're going to apply those clamps. So these are the two clamps right here that are commonly failing. The bottom one is the one that provides the most pressure. The top one doesn't seem to have a problem at all, but as you can see, the bottom one has shifted even after taking it to the service center. And as I said before, they simply seem to have replaced the old clamps with the same old clamps. So I'm not very impressed with our service center right now. Here's the clamps that we're going to replace and put onto those hoses. So it's a 3/8 inch clamp. So there you see on the bottom one, a new clamp is installed. Now we'll do the top one. To remove that, well, you don't have to remove it, just slide it down a little bit. To slide it down, you just use a pair of pliers, crimp the two ends, wiggle it down the hose, and then you can throw your new clamp in that spot. So as you can see, new clamps on both the top and bottom hose. Job complete. took maybe 5 minutes. The power steering clamps are now replaced. Thanks Tim for the excellent tips. The second thing we're going to talk about is the back door adjustment. There's 2 spots that you can make the adjustment. I was taught how to do this by Nick, who I went up to Tuck with, and he's from Switzerland. He's a mechanic and very experienced with this. So he gave me some pointers because of the issues that we were having on the road. So there's 2 areas that you can adjust here, either down low on the bottom end or up at the very top. There's a couple brackets up there. And to do this, you simply need a sprocket wrench, and for the bottom it's a T45 star sprocket, and for the top it's a T30. So in order to make this adjustment, here's where you would loosen and then tighten to make the adjustment on the back doors. On the bottom, and you simply remove these covers. And on the top, it's these 2 brackets here. You simply need to adjust them to meet your needs. And then adjust them to the right area. Crawl inside, double check, make sure that you've made the proper adjustment, and there you go. Your back doors are adjusted, and you will no longer have that gap underneath. If it's too big of an adjustment in order to use this method, the other thing you could do is add some more weather stripping to the doors. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you learned something. If you haven't done your power steering clamps, I highly recommend it. Go ahead and get that done, and definitely do it before you get out into the middle of nowhere. If you like this video, like, subscribe, comment. Let us know what you think down below. We appreciate you watching. Have a wonderful day.